Hi, I'm Rich Beardmore and I'm one of the media consultants for Incredible Tackle. We're here today at Cuttle Mill Fisheries in the Midlands. We're here for the next 48 hours and we're going to catch a couple of the older residents that live in this lake. We're in the start of December and it's just starting to rain now, so hopefully we're going to get the stuff out the van and get set up before it sets in for the night. Right, here we are at Cuttle Mill. We're going into the first night. We've decided to fish peg 1 as our first choice was occupied. We've seen a few fish here when we got here. They're mainly around the margin and the aerator, quite close in. So we've opted to fish 3 little mesh bags of maggots, fished with a critically balanced 12mm pop-up tipped with maggots. I'm fishing a D-rig style, so it just sits above the silt nicely. Yeah, we're on heli style fishing just to battle the deep silt that's in this venue. But yeah, we've had a few knocks, looking promising for the morning, so fingers crossed we'll have one. Right, woke up this morning after having a few liners, nothing come of them, and then we were just sat there talking what I was about to do next to change things about, and then the middle rod had gone off, rattled off with this little beauty. Just under £10, but more than welcome this time of year. It caught on the mesh bag of maggots with a little white wafter topped with red maggots. Just cast away, I saw the fish showing last night. So yeah, more than happy this time of year. I'll get this one back, my hands are freezing, and hopefully time for another one. Morning. It's first morning now, it's just gone 10 o'clock and we had one at first light. It was a lovely little common, just under £10 in its beautiful winter colours, really golden common, and yeah, lovely little fight as well, especially for this time of year. That was taken on the little mesh PVA bag we put out with red maggots, and that was fished with a fluorocarbon D-rig, just a little white wafter tipped with 8 red maggots, and just cast to where we saw the fish showing last night just before dark. We've seen a few more fish moving, especially down the margin, so we've put a bit of bait out there and put a rod on them as well, and fingers crossed for another one. I mean, I've been fishing heli style on here. Reason is because of this deep silt on here and just for presentation, so it'll allow the lead to plug into the silt and the rig to sit on top. But yeah, I'm feeling confident for another bite, and hopefully it'll be a bit bigger. Yeah, fingers crossed, we'll have another one. That's alright. Is it? So we've just had this lovely little dark mirror. It's just come off the rod we've just redone, the one we lost one on. The small little tweak, the dropping the lead seemed to have worked. It was absolutely nailed in the bottom lip as well. So yeah, hopefully now get the rod back out and we'll try for another one. Right, the rig that I've been getting the bites on is taking a length of the chod filament, probably about 10 inches or so, and all I'm doing is just threading it through and leaving a large tag end and just whipping down 8 times like a knotless knot, and then just pull it down tight. Then you take one of my micro swivels, thread that on, and then you thread it back through to create your D. So we trim that off about level with the point, and then just blob it down with a lighter. Then the other end, take one of the tungsten anti-tangle sleeves, thread that on, and then to create your loop, I always have them about 6-7 inches long as my rigs, just a length I always prefer, and I just do a double overhand knot like so. Moisten it down, take your 2 pullers, just pull it tight, and just give it a good stretch, straighten it all out. Trim the tag end. I always like to blob it just for that bit of extra security. That's the rig. To be fair, it is one of my favourite rigs, and it's probably one of the most simple rigs to tie up. And as simple as that, and I fish that, I always hook that onto the quick link ring swivels, and then that's it. That'll be on my main line. And then I just have the 2 beads, and then your lead, and yeah. And I fish that most places I go. Well, what draws me to this venue, it's a very good winter water. It's always good for a bite this time of year when most places are shut up. It's very shallow, but it's very, very deep silt, and you've got that challenge aspect against it as well. It's well stocked, and there's a lot of 20s in here, and a fair few 30s for a lake this size, but it's not easy by any means possible. It's a really hard water for the size of it. Fishing wise, it's just sort of like one of these tricky, well-stocked small waters where one day you could be fishing naked chods over the deep silt and debris, and the next day you could be fishing solid bags in the silt, and then the next day you could be back on zigs between 8 inches and a foot off the bottom. It just varies day by day. It's not my usual style of fishing, but I do it quite often. I mean, I'm an all-round carp angler. I'll fish from the smallest lake to the biggest lake in different scenarios. I can fish in the thickest weed or no weed. It varies. I'm just one of these anglers that just wants to get out and go fishing anywhere I can, and for as long as I can. So here we are, we're going to the last night here at Cuttle Mill. It's been a tricky one today. We've managed a few bites today, we landed a couple, but in the last hour or so we've seen quite a few show in the area, and we've had quite a few liners as well. But yeah, it is looking good for another bite, so fingers crossed. We've just lit the fire, as you can see, just having a bit of a warm because it is Baltic here. And yeah, Chinese will be ordered very shortly, and hopefully we'll have another take through the night. So if I don't see you later on, I will see you in the morning. Ah, that's me. Swam straight in the net. That's what we came for. As you can see, it's just started, well, it's just gone dark and the middle rod is just ripped off, which was fished where we saw a few fish showing and fizzing up. This one's just coming at £19 bang on. And yeah, it fell to the little PVA mesh bag of red maggots, fished with a white wafter and topped with red maggots. So yeah, we'll get the rod back out now and see if we can bag another one. So yeah, it's just about 7 o'clock at night and the same middle rod's just gone off. Lovely little common, just under £10. So yeah, we'll get the rod back out and hopefully we'll have another one. Good morning. Well, we're here on the last day at Cuttle Mill and yeah, we had a couple of nice commons last night. Just as we went into dark, we had a lovely £19 common. That was on the middle rod, that was on the white wafter and red maggots. That rod did 2 fish actually last night, a smaller common as well. They're both lovely fish. And yeah, then it just sort of switched off and went a bit quiet last night. We had nothing through the night and we had a few liners this morning, same as the morning before. But it just didn't happen this morning. Seen a few show in the same sort of areas and still getting a few little knocks and liners, but nothing's happened as yet, so we're just going to get some fresh bait out. Probably put a bit more bait out this time, just see if we can get a quicker reaction out of the fish. So fingers crossed we'll have another fish to show you very soon. There we go, it's in the net. So, after just having a morning of line, just waiting for that bite, it finally came. The same margin spot that did most of the bites yesterday, I started to play ball again. And we had this lovely little £8.5 common. Same method, same rig. Put another one on the bank for us. That's bite number 7 so far. Not bad for December. So we'll get the rod back out and try again. So this is the end of our 48-hour trip here on Cuttle Mill. Yeah, it's been really good. We've managed to get the bites and put fish on the bank, which is a bonus for any session like this. But yeah, we managed 7 bites, landed 5 of them, and that 19-pound common just sort of tipped it off. Lovely, stunning common. Yeah, and they were taken from the deeper water just out in front of me and the margin to my right. So it's been hit and hold when we're getting the takes, fishing with the clutch fairly tight, just really trying to steer them carp away from the aerator. So you need to use the tackle that can stand that sort of punishment and tackle you have confidence in using. It's been a tough one, and it's just one of these smaller venues, well stocked, and it's always good for a bite in the winter. And for me, in my winter fishing, that's an important thing, to keep them bites coming, just to keep things interesting. And I'm one of the people that loves catching carp, no matter how big they are. It's just getting fish on the bank and getting that bite. But hopefully I'll see you all again soon, and we'll find somewhere else to go and some more challenges.